AM 970 WSTX.
It is the Rotary Rescue Health Fair.
All right.
We joined with Rescue at least 10 or more years ago to do this health fair. But as you mentioned, we're doing it a little bit different this year. We've normally done it at the St. Croix Rescue Academy, but we decided, well, first off, the first reason we decided to move it was because we traditionally did it in February. But now there are so many health fairs in February, we decided to move it. And November is National Diabetes Month, and there is a wonderful event happening in Grove on November 2nd. So we spoke with Raymond Williams of the Grove Place Action Committee about possibly doing it, our health fair, before the Liberty Day event. And Raymond was thrilled. He's like, oh, that'd be great. Please, please come. So we will be out there. We'll be starting at 9 o'clock because our other partner now this year is Department of Health, and they have been wonderful. They are going to be bringing their van, their new health van out to Grove Place. They'll be out there 9 o'clock, and they'll be doing the testing, the blood sugar, glucose, cholesterol testing. They're also, because now of the impetigo outbreak, they're going to be doing an outreach, lots of information about preventing an outbreak in your home. So they'll have that information. They'll be doing some screening, some testing, some exams. So that's going to be a great thing to have Department of Health out there. We also have we have a special education teacher who'll be joining us, and she's going to be doing giving parents information about hearing problems with your child, hearing loss. Oftentimes, people think that a child is disruptive, ignoring them, etc., but the child actually has hearing loss and can't hear. So she'll be giving information about how to recognize hearing loss in your child, and also how to access the Department of Education system, because they actually have a good system for children with hearing loss. But some parents, number one, don't know how to recognize it, and then number two, they don't know how to access that system.
Well, I don't know if this is relative in particular, but I suffer from hearing loss. And sometimes I wonder if someone cough I get from my mother and father was because of that. It will happen later, right?
But, we will talk about that.
But parents do need to be sensitized because it's part of recognizing, can impact their learning ability or the progress.
Yes.
So it's very, very important. Yeah.
And one of the things we don't pay attention to, and I know I do it, when I'm in my car, that music is loud. And for a child listening to loud music, it really affects their hearing.
Because those are the formative years when the ears are developing, and sometimes you see these folks with the big speakers pack up in the car and they're jamming it, and the child there in the back seat.
Yeah. Well, you see a lot of the major stars on TV, etc., and you'll see a picture of them with their child at a concert, and the child always has on earphones. And that's to protect their child. They're doing the right thing. Okay, the child's at the concert. They know the music's really loud. They put the earphones on to protect their hearing.
Yeah.
So that information will be really good. Dr. Deb Bobbitt, she contacted us and asked if she could come out, and that's fabulous. She has West End Chiropractic, so she'll be out there giving information, doing a few exams and things.
All right.
So that'll be really good. As for rescue, normally rescue does vehicle extrication. And you said in a few organizations. My other one is St. Croix Rescue, and I straddle the fence often. We're not sure we'll be able to do an extrication on Monday because many of the team members will be working that day. Not every business has off on that day.
That's right.
So, and Rescue does ask a lot of employers. When there's an accident, people leave their work, and the employers here have been great. So we don't want to ask them to let their employees go if it's not a true emergency. So we may not be able to do that, but Rescue will be out there. We'll have an information table out. If you're interested in signing up to become a volunteer or to become a member. We'll have information about training. So Rescue will be out there. We have a number of other organizations. The Virgin Islands Good Food Coalition. Summer Sibley Brown will be there.
Okay.
We were at the Food Learn event yesterday at the Louette's Museum, and it was wonderful. And so we're real excited to have them out there. Summer's been doing incredible work, teaching people about using local food, really expanding what the farmers are able to do. I know it's not outside the realm of possibility that there's some sort of disaster and our food supply gets cut off. The food supply coming in, because more than 90% of what we eat comes in by boat or ship. So what happens if that's cut off? So, boat or plane, not boat or ship, they're the same thing. So Summer will be out there. We have some other organizations coming out, so there'll be a lot of great information, the testing and everything.
All right. Well, something that if you can do, if it can work, if you can get together a little list of employees/employers, and with employers' permission, for us to be able to tell the public that this business employees supports VI Rescue. And
I would love to do that.
I would really like to get the word out there, because this is the same way as having a veteran at your business, and that making that sacrifice when the time comes for them to go to the annual training, or when the nation calls and they have to go, right? We make it a point to make sure that those businesses are recognized for supporting our troops, where VI Rescue are our troops also. And if you can do that, I would definitely work with you to get that word out there. People need to know where our community is stepping up, whether it be private sector or public sector. We need to know and give kudos and support.
Right.
Yeah.
And let me just take a second to explain what St. Croix Rescue does. Rescue was formed to do vehicle extrication. So when somebody is trapped in a vehicle, it's St. Croix Rescue that cuts them out of that vehicle. We've got the tools that refer to the jaws of life. That's an old term. They are Hirsch tools, or they're some other manufacturers of the tools that are used. Most of them are hydraulic. We have some that work on compressed air. Some are battery. So it is St. Croix Rescue, and all of those people who are out there from St. Croix Rescue are volunteers. No matter what time that call comes in, the middle of the night, the middle of the day, the volunteers go out and do that work. I know a lot of times you'll see in some publications, well, EMS cut them out of the car. No, EMS doesn't cut them out of the car. St. Croix Rescue does. Now, oftentimes there are accidents where rescue is not needed, and then it's EMS. But EMS and rescue and fire work in conjunction.
Teamwork.
So, but rescue people are volunteers.
Yes, yes, and we can't stress that enough. It's service above self. They are giving of their time. Their family is making that sacrifice. Like you said, any hour of the night, when there's that bad accident and the car is all mangled and the person needs medical assistance, and to be gotten out of the mangled car, it's VI to the rescue. All right. Good. No, that's fantastic. Well, people need to know, because sometimes they take it for granted. There are a lot of people who think that it's a service, a government service. No, it's volunteers.
Yes.
People who are committed. They have to go through special training. Tell me a little bit about the training that you do at VI Rescue in terms of the personnel for VI Rescue.
Okay. The training lasts about 6 months. It's done in the evenings because most people work during the day. And it's usually Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday evenings, and then 1 or 2 weekends a month. And all the rescue members go through medical first responder training. So that's one step below an EMT. So that's the first part of it. The extrication training takes weeks. It's learning how to use every single tool on that truck and learn how to use it well. And when I say that truck, it's Squad 1, that big truck you see that we have. So there's the training on the tools. And you do the training on the tools before you do the training on cutting up the vehicles. So that's a long training too, where people have to go out there and cut vehicles. And I know when you pass the Rescue Academy, pardon me, you'll see their cars in the yard out back. And some people have thought it's a junkyard. It's not. That's where rescue trains. Right. That's where rescue trains.
Yep.
There's a high angle rescue train, which is the tower that we have there. You'll see people rappelling off of there, and we also go out to different locations, and you may see people training. There's incident command system training, which everybody needs to know how to work, how that command chain is set up and what each person's responsibility is under ICS. And also when we work with fire, EMS, any emergency where VITEMA would be called out or VITEMA would call everybody else out, the incident command structure is set up. So everybody needs to understand how that works. And that's also a federal system. So, and then there's other trainings. There's the rescue members all do CERT training, Community Emergency Response Team training. So there's a lot going on. It's excellent training.
All right, fantastic. And it's good for you to come out and talk about it. And it's good that they're going to be on YouTube memorialized for folks to listen to it. Because if you don't tell people about it, they just assume, okay, the government does this, so forth and so on. So how is Rescue funded?
Rescue gets some funding from the government and donations. We depend on a lot of donations. We also do the medical air transport. So when people are being flown out, it's Rescue that moves them from the hospital to the airport. So the companies do give us some money for that, but it's nowhere near as much as we need to.
Well, that's always the case. That's always the case when it comes to service. It's always a struggle getting the money. So it's not a business where you make money like a business. It's service to the community, and that's something that I ask because people need to know. They need to know. Yes, the government it works to do a little part to help because, in fact, we're talking about a public-private partnership here. That's what we have going on. It's a partnership. And they're doing something that they can do better than if it was just under some umbrella in the government. It just makes sense to have them do it. So I'm glad that you get some government support. But keep that in mind, community. So when you see that truck go by there, Command 1, says VI Rescue on the side, just know that, hey, Synchro Rescue.
There are rescue squads throughout the territory. Throughout the
territory, I'm aware. That's just a slip of the tongue there.
That's all right.
But just keep in mind that, like every good thing, it needs care. And sometimes that care includes a donation. So keep in mind, Synchro Rescue is there for you, so be there for them.
Exactly. Well, thank you for that.
All right. Well, I really appreciate you coming in and talking about the health there and also Synchro Rescue. And I'm looking forward to seeing you folks in action there in Grove Place. As we say, Bull and Bread Day, Liberty Day. So it's going to be a very fun and interesting year there. No politics this year. You never know. But no politics this year. It's healthcare this year. Okay? Let's keep it on healthcare. Mm-hmm. It's important. So come on out, folks. There are going to be a lot of interesting things going on there. Okay? And there's going to be a surprise at the Liberty Day ceremony today. On November 2nd. So come on out. There's going to be a very special surprise. I can't tell you what it is because then it wouldn't be a secret and a surprise anymore. Yeah. But it's going to be fun.
Right.
It's going to be fun, and I think it's going to surprise a lot of people because it's the last thing that they're going to expect to see happen. But you know what? It's going to be candy for your eyes. It's going to be inspiration for your mind. It's going to be fun.
And can help you save a life.
Amen. Amen. All right. So, if for nothing else, think about that surprise. Let your curiosity get the best of you and come out there and see what's going on.
Right.
But we have much more to offer. There's the health fair and the things that you may learn, the things that you can follow up on through the health fair, because Department of Health is going to be there in force. Come on out. You know, they're going to have a lot of services. We can't say that they're going to have the flu shots this time around, but we're keeping the door open just in case. They do have them available, but they're going to have other services from blood pressure, possibly glucose testing, other things going on there. But the Department of Health can talk a little bit more about that when they get a chance, all right? So I'm getting ready to run over here into Robert Moorhead's time. So before he comes and just kicks me out the studio, no, he wouldn't do that.
All right, I'll protect you.
Okay, that's great. Okay, we call it VI Rescue. Okay, all right. So, no, it's been a fantastic morning. The things that we've talked about are all healthcare oriented for the most part. And people say, well, you get tired of hearing about. No, you don't get tired. You get healthy.
Right.
You do the right things, and you're reminded to do the right things, because very often we forget. Well, sometimes we don't even know the right thing to do. And so we live and we learn and we get better in the process. So I'm happy to be a vehicle here today through this show to bring these things to the community. And I want to encourage you to keep on doing what you're doing. And you can share with anyone. If there ever comes a time you feel a little bit tired, you feel a little bit maybe not appreciated, just know you are appreciated. We love what you do. And for the many families that it has made a difference, for the St. Croix Rescue when they got out there and they helped their loved one to live because they could get them out of that vehicle so they could get the medical care that they needed. We want to say thank you for what St. Croix Rescue has been doing. We want to say thank you to Rotary St. Croix for their efforts over the years as far as their health fairs and health-oriented projects are concerned. Okay? So,
well, thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't for 1 minute think that it goes unappreciated. All right.